Now, I know you've talked about the winds of change blowing, especially over the last 25 years. Now that it's been 25 years since the first edition, what do you think are the biggest changes in how new writers approach the industry that you've seen in those years? And how do you think that, uh, like, say, from when you started in the development process there in terms of developing new writers and new projects, how have you seen those changes over the last 25 years?
Well, I think there's a lot of innovation and experimentation that's going on right now in this streaming universe, which has sort of separated the river of storytelling into two big different channels. One being the big superhero movies, and then all the other stuff, which includes some superhero things, but all the sort of dramatic things I'm thinking about, and comedy in the streaming universe, where they have more time for one thing. They have this wonderful luxury in a way, but also a challenge of having a lot of content to fill. They are burning up content very fast. You know how it is. You see a new show pop and you want to watch it, and maybe you eat it up like popcorn over a weekend, and then you're going, okay, what's the next show? What else am I going to watch? So we're burning through stuff fast. But the major shifts over the last few years have been about the hero himself, herself, itself, themselves, whatever you want to call it, and getting it off of the old paradigm, which was a hero. When you say the word, it just conjures certain images. Maybe you see a superhero, you see a masculine figure, you see somebody saving people nobly. We have all of this baggage about that word. And a lot of that has been systematically dismantled and challenged. And we always had anti-heroes. That goes back as far as the Greeks. You had people who were the central figure, maybe the protagonist, but not necessarily good guys or decent people or heroic people, the way we think of that word hero. So we've taken that all apart. I think Breaking Bad was a huge influence in this, in showing how you could really put somebody on under a microscope, look at all the competing impulses. Sopranos did a lot of that work too, and you can think of many others since then, House of Cards and so forth, that put us in this place where we're fascinated by these darker sides. And it's like we're holding up a mirror. Maybe it's a slightly twisted funhouse mirror that makes fun of us in general as human beings, or that points out the awful things that are possible for us. So there's some kind of philosophical and psychological processing that's going on that I think reflects the way that the news cycle and the way we get news has just blown open. From this little tiny soda straw we used to get the news from, now it's all scattered, and you're seeing all kinds of human behavior. I have this pet theory that the internet is really growing a planetary brain for us, and that new brain that's just been born has a lot of bratty aspects to it, and childish aspects, and selfish things, and a lot of confusion. And so we're sorting this out, and we use the stories to help us do that. I really look at stories as tools that we use to try to get a handle. They're like handles that help us get a little bit of a sense of control over things, or maybe it's an illusion, but the feeling that we understand. And I think everybody's watching very closely any kind of entertainment, from cartoons all the way up to very serious scenes from a marriage type things. You're looking for clues about yourself and about, well, how would I react in that situation? So it's very personal in a way. People use stories. I think writers use them for their own psychological healing. And many times I've said that, and you probably know that as a story analyst. Sometimes you get a script and you realize this is really not for production. This is for the healing of the writer. Someone just had to get this out. They chose the screenplay form, and it's healthy for them to get it off their chest, even if it never gets made. So that's how I look at the developments now. And then there's a great experimentation, which I love, about how you get into a story, how you develop a story, how you structure the things. Structure was my main thing. It was sort of my calling card at the studio, was that I could look at the script and kind of figure out intuitively, this part is weak, that part needs to be emphasized more, these two things need to be connected, something needs to be set up in the first act that develops in the second act and lands in the third act. You know, you develop a sense for what will make the machinery work better, more smoothly, and you get a bigger emotional effect from the audience. So this is what I'm seeing, is they're playing with this huge switchboard of controls about how you get into a story and intrigue the audience, and experimenting with time and all sorts of things that are refreshing, and it's healthy. It's a great time.